People say family is everything. That no matter what happens, your blood will stand by you. And for the longest time, I believed that. I believed my father was my hero, my mother was my safe haven, and my sister was my best friend. From the outside, our house looked like a picture of love and happiness. But what I didn't know was that the cracks were already forming beneath the surface. Growing up, I looked up to my father more than anyone else in the world. He wore suits to work, came home late at night, and told me he was doing it all for us. He'd pat my shoulder and say, "Son, one day, all this hard work will pay off. You'll have a life better than mine." I admired him. To me, he was a giant who could do no wrong. My mother was the soft balance to his toughness. She was the warmth in our cold winters. She made sure I never went to school hungry, stayed up with me when I was sick, and always whispered before bed, "No matter what happens, I'll always protect you." Those words, they meant the world to me back then. And then there was my sister. She was only 2 years younger, but we were inseparable. We'd talk late at night about our dreams, our future, our plans to escape the small town and make something of ourselves. She wasn't just my sister. She was my closest friend. The one person I thought would never betray me. Life seemed perfect. Sure, sometimes Dad would come home later than usual. Sometimes I'd hear muffled arguments between my parents when they thought I was asleep. Sometimes my sister would sneak off for hours without explanation. But I told myself, every family has problems. We were still strong. We were still together. I remember one evening, I was about 17, sitting at the dinner table. My father looked tired, his eyes bloodshot, but he still smiled at me. "Keep your grades up, son," he said. "When you get into college, I'll be right there to pay for it. You won't have to worry about a thing." It started with small requests. My father asked me to co-sign some papers for his business. My mother told me not to ask questions. My sister smiled sweetly and said, "It's for the family. Don't you trust us?" Of course, I trusted them. They were my blood. I signed. I obeyed. I handed over my savings when they asked. I told myself it was temporary, that they would pay me back, that they loved me enough to never let me down. But slowly, I began to notice changes. My father stopped coming home on time. He disappeared for nights, leaving no explanation. My mother grew distant, whispering on the phone, hiding bills and letters. My sister flaunted new clothes, expensive jewelry, and a lifestyle she couldn't possibly afford. One night, I overheard them. My father's voice was harsh. "He's young, he'll bounce back. We just need him to carry the debt for a while." My mother sighed. "I know. But if he finds out what we're really doing," my sister cut her off. "He won't. He's too stupid to see it. He thinks we love him." My chest tightened as I pressed against the wall, listening. My own family calling me stupid, using me as a shield for their lies. That night, for the first time in my life, I felt truly alone. The final blow came when I turned 18. On my birthday, instead of a celebration, I was greeted by men in suits knocking on our door. Debt collectors. They shoved papers in my hand, telling me I was legally responsible for thousands of dollars. I turned to my father, panicked. "What is this?" He looked away. I turned to my mother. She said nothing, her eyes full of guilt. Finally, my sister smirked. "It's your name on the papers, not ours. Guess you're not the golden son anymore." The room spun. My whole world collapsed in that moment. Every sacrifice I had made, every dream I held onto, every ounce of love I had for them, all of it shattered. I realized then that my family never saw me as their son. To them, I was a tool, a shield, a fool to carry their mistakes. And as I stood there, betrayed by the very people I loved most, I made a silent promise to myself. I would rise from this. Not for them, not for revenge, but for me, because if blood could betray me, then blood no longer defined me.